You can start raising sea monkeys.
I could start raising sea monkeys. Laura already does that.
Does she?
She did. She did at one point until they all died.
Oh, I thought you. And the sea monkey is Josh. That's
The alternate end to that joke is it's me. I am sea monkey.
yeah. Laura is looking after a sea monkey, and his name is Josh. Yeah.
Sea monkeys are fucking weird, man. They like
It's shrimp. It's just shrimp.
all the images on like packaging makes them look like monkeys, but then they're just like stupid little shrimp things, and they have like
Tiny little trilobites. Yeah.
yeah, and they have like poo trails that are like 10 times the length of their bodies that they just don't seem to care about for some reason. It's just
something I aspire to.
I remember having sea monkeys, and it came with like a catalogue of shit you could order, and there was like a little like neck. Yeah, you could like order like a necklace, so you could take a couple of them out with you, and I was like, oh, I want this, and it was like, I'm so glad that none of it.
Did I ever
was
tell
bought.
you I got scammed by sea monkeys once? I was working a job a while back in an office, and me and the guy next to me were like, should we just get sea monkey? Like we could have a desk sea monkey. That's quite funny.
oh, we're so crazy.
Yeah, wouldn't that be so kooky? Yeah. So we had desk sea monkeys for a bit, but they never hatched ever. So we basically just bought like an empty tank of water that just sat on our desk and grew algae for like 6 months, and then we threw it out because nothing grew.
Did you drink it at the end as a power move to the sea monkeys that wouldn't hatch? You sons of bitches, take this. No, when Laura was into sea monkeys, she was looking like how to hatch them properly and this, that, and the other, and she got like, it's just like with anything, right? She got a little bit too deep, and you start finding like the subreddits and forums of
Breed sea monkeys.
people that are like, oh, I fucking love sea monkeys. It's like,
Wait, I'm gonna go there right now. The sea monkey subreddit.
There's sea monkey subreddits, there's forums. It's like there's people where it's like, oh, the sea monkeys are doing good, and they'll have a video of their tank, and it will have like 10,000 sea monkeys in it. It looks like it's in a setup that looks like, you know, like in Resident Evil when you go underground to where the tyrant is in the water tube. It's like that, but for sea monkeys.
Got one like giant sea monkey.
It's so messed up. I'm talking to him, like, you need to get off these places. These aren't good for you. Oh, okay. Let's kick off straight off of that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Game FourCast, the weekly gaming podcast where we all get together and chat about all the new news and what we've been playing. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks, and I'm here with Olive Meister Will.
Hello, my name is Olive Meister and/or Will, and I'm buying sea monkeys right now.
Hell yeah. Quick, Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve, and remember, it's never too late to achieve your dreams. Just look at Prince Charles. He just got his first job and he's old as fuck.
Oh no. And Sammeh.
Oh my god. I know I complain about doing follow-ups, but that one is hard to follow up. I'm Sam. Hi.
I was in my
Go to Twitter, you can steal all the memes.
I was in my head before we started this. I was like, can we get through the entire thing without making some sort of joke related to the Queen passing away?
Yeah, you can't make jokes like the Queen, but King Charles, yeah, he's open field.
Yeah, he's fine, yeah. He's got to get used to it. He's going to be the first official monarchy that is nothing but memes from start to finish, basically.
I've seen stuff about, like, how are they going to fit his ears on the £5 notes?
Oh my god.
I was thinking about that, right? Because we've just replaced all of our currency from paper to plastic, and now it's going to have to get replaced all over again from the Queen to the King.
Though? Is it actually going to get all replaced?
Yeah, I think it does.
We're going to have to, yeah.
That's insane.
All the coins change. All the coins change like yearly anyway. But
yeah, keep your money now because it might be worth a lot in 5 years.
Okay. I heard something weird that apparently every like symbol that has a crown on it has the Queen's version. So now they need to swap over to the King's version. So like things like post boxes and stuff like that. Anything that's like, you know, royal whatever with a queen with a crown on it, that all has to get changed. Like a bunch of the military stuff with if you have like a patch, all has to change. All has to get changed.
The worst thing is that I just learned our national anthem and now it's going to change again.
Yeah, God save the King. It's one of those things where, like I say, like you have to change literally everything, and because the country is so sort of patriotic towards these things, it's like it's going to cost billions. And it's like, yep,
yeah.
Yeah.
Charles ain't gonna last only 73.
Yeah, he's got he's got a good 30 years in him probably.
He wants to become king, get the screenshot, and then peace out.
Yeah, he wants to get that 100. He wants to get the chicken dinner and then peace out.
Oh god. Oh.
Who's been playing games this week? I'm going to chuck the ball randomly in the air, and one of you three is going to catch it. I've just thrown it. Oh god, who's going to catch it?
It's me.
There you go.
I've caught it because I am the most boring.
You say that.
Look, I have talked about World of Warcraft the past 3 weeks, so
he's going to do it again.
I'm going to do my best to not talk about it this week, but know that is what I have played this week. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next.
Yeah. There's So I talked about StarCraft 2 last week as well. What do I do?
If you haven't played anything, that's also fine.
I want to put forward as well that I was going to say this last week, but to people out there, like, just play the same game and just enjoy it and waddle on. Like, that is perfectly fine, by the way.
Mm-hmm. That's what every like game company wants. That makes live services.
Well, it's what every gamer wants, really. Like, it's nice to just have a game where you just get back and go, oh man, I can't wait to play this game.
I wish I could do that, but I've never been able to do it. I've looked at so many games and gone, this is amazing, and this is my game. And I still move on like 2 weeks later. I can't help it.
Yeah, it's hard, but there will be some people. I mean, take Hunt, for example.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, love it or hate it, you end up just still playing it for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sometimes I think along the way you forget how much you should probably appreciate that you have a game that you're just like, just going to go and spunk 4 hours away playing Hunt, I guess.
Yeah.
And then...
Excuse me? What did you say again?
That's such a British like phrase. Most people won't know what that even means.
But yeah, because I said to you guys before, I just joined a random pickup group to raid in WoW. And then it was like cutting it close to get here on time. But I'm enjoying it so much that I've started just joining random raid groups and stuff.
So this is classic WoW, right?
Played WoW.
Yeah.
I played classic WoW this week as well. Well, it's not my game, but
yeah, go for it. Sorry, I keep cutting in.
I was going to say they had a promotion that if you do the Death Knight starting experience, you get a mountain live. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that with a friend. And I remember why I do not want to play classic WoW. They picked a terrible starting experience to try and entice you to play. So
really.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, okay. The very end of the Death Knight starting experience is a scripted battle, and we got there, and it was like, oh, the battle's in progress. Got there, but it was just as the battle had ended, so we had to wait for the cutscene for like 5 minutes, and then it's like, oh, there's like a gathering period, so you have to wait another 5 minutes, and then do the battle, which is if you move just 1 inch away from an NPC, you're going to get one shot. And I was like, I
remember that wasn't Wrath of the Lich King the first expansion where they started experimenting with like instant stuff and phasing.
Yeah, phasing. Yep. And that's another thing is because they wanted to really, really hide it. They're like, go all the way back up to this place over here, then go back down and look, the world has changed. But it's like a pain to go so far away just to come back. Yeah. But sorry, yeah, that was my classic experience for the week. 2 hours of classic.
Well, Sam, you say you're doing pickups. I didn't know that classic WoW had that ability. I mean, how are you doing that?
So classic. One of the extra features that they've added in is just a constant chat, which is basically /4, which is looking for group.
Right.
So people will just post in there, doing Tempest Keep, which is the one I did today.
Yeah.
Need 1 tank, 2 healer, rest deeps. And yeah, that's basically it. They just spam it there.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, because in this day and age, yeah, it's got all the systems of WoW Classic, but you now have like Reddit and Discord and places like that where I assume a lot of this stuff can get sorted out a lot easier than before.
Well, yeah, here's the thing though, is like there's no real forum for like, because no one wants to be the first person to have to sort shit out, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So like someone finally makes a group and then they're like, okay, I'm the person that's got to inspect everyone's gear.
You have to send out the invites. And
yesterday I tried to join a raid. I was like, fuck it. They're like, need mage. And the character I've been playing, I leveled up a mage and I've been having fun playing it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna whisper him and say I'm a mage. And then he inspected my gear and went, nah, bro, sorry, you can't come. And I was like, still good. I had to try.
I remember
that's funny.
Wrath of the Lich King was the era of the gear score add-on, where it was an add-on that told you your gear score.
Oh yeah.
They later added it in, but like everyone had that add-on. But I remember because I used to write Pug Raid Lead Ice Cream Citadel every week. And people come up to me being like, "Oh yeah, look, I've got the gear. Let me in." And I'm like, "Well, let me inspect you first, see if you will gemmed and enchanted, because if not, you ain't getting in." But that was like everyone hated it, but now it's in the game. It's standard.
Yeah, that era of WoW, in terms of add-ons, I think of like that gear score one, and also like there was like a Peggle add-on and like things like that.
Yeah. Oh, the Peggle add-on. Wow. Yeah.
And there was one that like would literally paint in the world like locations where it's like safe to stand and stuff, and Blizzard had to like change the whole game.
This is too strong. This is way too strong.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned about like no one wants to be the leader, because I didn't play a bunch of World of Warcraft early on. I missed the first 2 expansions and most of Wrath. But I played a lot of Final Fantasy XI, and there were certain parts of that game where you literally couldn't level up unless you made a party.
I've heard that.
But just because it's such an old game, just the act of forming a party is so hard and archaic.
Yeah.
And you'd be in an area, and there'd be like a party is like 4 people, I think, and there'd be 4 of you sort of standing around shouting, like looking for a group, and in your head you're thinking, this is a part we could do this party, but no one wants to take up the lead and the initiative of like,
I used to get that in WoW all the time as well, where it's like 20 people all saying like, looking for group, like blah blah blah, and it's like, well, if one of you just said, I have a group looking for more, then this would all be over. Like I'm always the
one who's
see,
like,
that's
I'll just
the
make the
funny
group.
one. I'll see people like trying to do dungeons and being like looking for more, as if they've got a group, and then it'll be like 5-man dungeons, and it'll be like looking for like 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 deets, and we're like, so you've got yourself.
That's the bait.
Oh my god, I do not miss that from WoW. Having to sit in Orgrimmar for 4 hours, like looking for 1 more Blackrock Depths. We're going for a full clear. Anyone, and then it's like, an hour in, someone's like, "Oh, my mum's calling. I gotta go," and it's like, all right, back to Orgrimmar. We've killed 1 boss, looking for 1 more.
The trick being that obviously healers and tanks are hardest to find, so you're just on your own. You say, "Oh, I've got a full party looking for a tank. Get the tank." And then when he realizes there's no one else here, it's like, well, we've got you now. So now other people will join really quickly. So just chill for a minute, and it'll all work out fine.
Then one of the first people you invite is a warlock, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to summon in the warlock's AFK. Or so much.
Fuck classic.
It's really I'm going to be honest, man. It's really painless.
Yeah.
Like, because I literally was like, I say that because I've done 4 different raids in the past 2 days.
With friends, though, is that right?
No, I've soloed in the pugs in each and every one of them.
Okay. And what are you playing again?
I'm playing a mage. I'm not a tank. I'm not a healer. No, that's the one other thing, is whenever I've been like, oh yeah, I did X raid today, someone will just be like, oh, you didn't bring us? And I'm there like, no, I spent 3 hours of my own time trying to find a damn group myself. Like,
give me a break.
I'm sorry, that's not how this works.
This is also, this is end of Burning Crusade pre-Wrath stuff, though,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
So this is because I remember this time of WoW where it's like the Wild West, where anything goes, where people are just like, "Oh, you want to pug hard mode, X raid?" And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I guess."
Yeah, fuck it, I'll give it a go. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's how I feel.
World's about to end. So
any gear I get, I am about to replace in like 5 quests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm like, just let me into Sunwell Plateau and let me experience it. You know what I mean? I want to do the TBC content.
Yeah, it's weird people still being precious when like everything is about to change.
Yeah. And wasn't this the time when like people, was it now or was it the end of Wrath when people were like trying to get the Zulaman bears because they were going away?
That's too specific for me, my guy.
That is too deep.
I think the chance for the bear is gone now.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I missed it.
Amani Warbear from PvP is still available. That disappears once.
I really wanted that one.
Launches.
I really wanted it.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's gone now.
Because that's
what I was this close to. I was hovering the install.
The other boys are doing is maxing out their honor cap. So you do battlegrounds, you get honor, you can store it, you can buy gear with it. But they're capping it, so once Wrath starts, they can then buy gear once they hit level cap with that. But man, I am so bored of PvP.
So what are you doing right now?
MMO now.
What are you doing right now? So the pre-patch is out. Have you finished all the pre-patch stuff?
Yes. So there was one pre-patch bit where it's like, go to these invasions, kill the undead spawning from the ziggurats. Then it spawns like a little boss mob that you can kill, and it has a chance to drop a chest piece for any class or spec. Yeah. And then a rare can spawn during that, which will drop a leg piece for any class or spec.
Okay.
And then you also get runes off of those mobs, and you can trade in those runes for gloves and shoulders, and then other random bits like a tabard and a banner and a pet and stuff like that.
Were pets a thing back then?
Pets were rats.
But pet battling wasn't, right?
No, pet battling's not till MOP, I think.
Yeah.
But
because you could you could buy. Everyone had the what was it? The limited edition version of like WoW, just WoW vanilla, and it came with that little mini Diablo that was. I kept seeing that running about when I was first playing, and like, why is that? Why does everyone have one of those?
Because everyone spent a couple quid more to get that version.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, I log on, I do my auctions because I maxed out Inscription, which is a new profession that came in with Wrath pre-patch.
Oh shit, yeah, Inscription was
making
Wrath, wasn't
me
it?
Bank.
Yeah.
I leveled the character up and I was already on $1,000.
Yeah.
So now I do a little bit. I do a couple of the dailies on the Isle of Quel'Thalas because it takes me like 15 minutes. It gets me about 100 gold. And I'm making like 300 to 400 gold a day still, and it's just like,
I don't know if that's good.
It is good. Well, so super fast flying is $4,000.
Yeah.
So just leveling Inscription, doing like 20 minutes of dailies, and then just waiting for auctions to sell gets me about 10% towards that a day.
Yeah.
And like most players still don't have that.
God, my attitude towards like WoW as you talk about it is so weird because I'm like, it's so nostalgic and it sounds really cool, but at the same time, I can't see myself doing that sort of thing ever again, I think.
No, I can. We need to do more MMOs.
No, I can't. Yeah. I just can't see myself.
You don't have a job anymore. This is your perfect time to do it.
No, it's the worst time. Are you kidding me?
See, this is what I said as well. It's because currently now there's the 50% EXP bonus. It doesn't feel like you're playing Classic because you actually level up.
Yeah.
So it's just really fun to level up.
If I quit my job,
if
I quit my job, which I have, and then Laura comes home from work and sees me playing World of Warcraft, I am like out on the street. Like that's it.
No, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm literally just trying to throw myself in, get into any raids and heroics.
Yeah.
The gear doesn't matter, and because it doesn't matter, I don't care. So I'm like, I'll do the hardest content.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's good to have a man on the inside with this thing because it is something that's like it is like MMOs and World of Warcraft such a big part of my own personal gaming history. Yeah. And it's like I don't want to really play it anymore, but it's always nice to hear about.
Well, once Wrath is actually out, I've got the 10-man sorted with the raid night sorted. So, you know, that's going to be... I'll be letting you know that actual hardcore raider life.
When is that out again?
26th, I believe it launches.
That's a couple weeks away, Jesus.
It'll be 2 weeks from when this goes live, I think.
3 Mondays away.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll push us along from that unless you've got anything else to just attack on the end.
No.
Okay, I'm going to chuck this towards Steve then. What have you been doing, Steve?
I've been playing
Duolingo.
I have been playing Duolingo, but no, it's been a quiet week. I have to say, I feel like this is like the sleepy week for like announcements for everything. But I have been playing some Temtem.
Oh, good.
That it's finally launched, and they've released the Endgame Island. I did stream this on a day, and my internet cut out. Of course.
You owe me drops, by the way.
Let's go watch the streamer.
You owe me 2.5 more hours.
Yeah, I've been enjoying, like, Temtem is a fun one. They have in the patch notes, they've like redone the leveling slightly, they've redone the economy slightly, so it is kind of like all the pain points of Temtem have slowly like disappeared or lessened to the point where you don't really care about them anymore. The big thing though with this with the launch was they added the Endgame Island though finally, which there's lots. It's almost like the Battle Frontier in Pokemon, where there are several different activities. There's like an Elite Four you can fight daily, right? Whenever you want, because you basically buy tickets with your in-game currency and like use those tickets to go to attractions. But there's an Elite Four thing. There's a roguelike dungeon where you go in with one Temtem and you have to like catch your way through randomly generated stuff.
That's pretty cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah, there's another one where it's almost like a mini raid, because in Temtem they have 2 raids at the moment and they're adding a 3rd one later. But they've added like a digi raid, which is because the raids are 5 people. This digi raid is 2 people, where you kind of like get given both a random Temtem and you have to like progress at the same time while fighting people, and then you can kind of help each other out a little bit.
So last time I played, there was I think it was when they added their first like raid or something, and it was like there were like 3 lanes and players were in a lane each, and it was really hard, and there were people complaining about how like you needed specific Temtems and groups and you had to be good and this, that and the other. Is it still really hard?
I don't think it's as hard, and they also, when you do these, they give you a Temtem. Like you don't bring your own Temtem for them; they give you one, and you kind of like progress through it. It's probably still like when I did it. I've only attempted to do a raid once, and I joined with 5 people, and they all quit by the end. And I got to the boss, so I got to the end lane by myself, and I was like, okay, let me go fight the boss. Couldn't beat it by myself, but I managed to do it, and I barely know what I'm doing.
I feel like so. And I think I might mention this either somewhere else or on one of the podcast episodes. I have, because it was early access with bits coming out, I have jumped into Temtem 3 times.
Yes.
And my biggest issue with it every time I played was I'm not sure if I suck, but I just thought it was too hard. And I keep coming back to the thought. I kept coming back to the thought where it's like, what was that MMO? Is it WildStar?
WildStar.
Where they were like, are you a hardcore WoW player that's sick of how easy WoW is? Come here. And I kind of felt like that's how Temtem was, where they were like, are you a hardcore Pokemon player? And I was like, no.
Before Sword and Shield came out, this was actually easier. We're meant to be like the easy one for like endgame for Pokemon. Yeah. But then Sword and Shield came out and made everything easy. But also on this island, they also have like a Tem Safari thing, which is like you go in with one Temtem. No, you go in with your team and you have to fight endless hordes of wild Temtem while having limited access to islands. There's also like 2 arena modes, one where you bring your own and one where you get a team of random Temtem.
Yeah.
And also apparently in a patch later on, they are adding Temtem Showdown, which is basically battle simulator. You can just make whatever team you want and try it out. But the bad thing about Temtem though is that they've got this. it's MMO, and they've got like there's no subscription, but there is like a battle pass, and it's not that bad.
People are pissed about that battle pass.
I don't know why they announced it when they 2 years ago.
Or it's because this game has gone up to like a full price game now. Now it's out of early access, and people are like, oh, there's battle
the thing
pass.
Is, I bought this game when it was £20. It's now like 40. It's now like £40-50. But like they've not charged for a subscription, and I'm like, how is this MMO for all this time having no shop at all, keeping servers alive?
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is not an MMO.
No, I agree. It's MMO light. This
is a Pokemon clone. I'm not going to call it Pokemon clone. That's disrespectful to the effort in this game. It's a monster capturing game, battler, whatever, with like an open chat room as you play the game.
I was going to say the thing with this game though is that the reason why I would say it's not for MMO is because they've got a couple more features planned. Like there's still one more mythical Temtem to release. And there's still a like the showdown stuff, and they are planning to do like balance patches and like minor stuff. But they have said that this is it. They're not planning to add more content past what they've already got planned.
Yeah,
because it's on Switch, it's already quite limited. They're not going to be doing like an expansion or more or like a new region or anything else.
Yeah.
This isn't like a live service game.
No, it's kind of live service because they are adding seasons. But that's it. And they are adding like a Nuzlocke mode later on as well, which will be separate from the main game.
This just goes back to what I was saying. Well, I don't see it as an MMO, where it's like an MMO is like a continuous thing, but also they're kind of done with it.
That's weird.
It's like in terms of Steve can like sort of add in stuff if I forget anything, but for what I understand, in terms of like it's an MMO, say you go down that line of thought, as you walk around, you can see a handful of other players. It's not every player, it's like instanced, but you can see other players. You cannot. I don't think you can chat with them. You can do like you can do symbols.
No, you can chat. There is a full chat. There's a full
chat. Okay, there's a full chat.
There's a full trading chat. There's a full looking for group chat. There's auction house. There are emotes now. There's a lot of emotes. You can build like your own house and see other people's houses. They are in the world. It is there's no like servers, so it's just going around and like phased almost.
It's the way when I think of an MMO, it's like say I'm playing World of Warcraft. I'm running around, and then I'm with another real dude. If there's a mob that's just in front of us, we can both interact with each other and that monster at the same time, and it's like you're in one cohesive world. Where when I played Temtem, it kind of felt like I was just in my own world with like kind of like a weird looking glass into kind of what other people are doing in their world at the same time. If that makes sense.
It's kind of like a bit like how some people feel about Final Fantasy 14, where you're doing a lot of solo stuff. Final Fantasy 14 does have a lot more group activities, but there are some group activities in Temtem, but you're not really.
But again, FF14, it feels like one cohesive world, because if I'm fighting a monster, someone else can come along and help me with that monster, or they can heal me, or they can interact with me. Whereas if I'm going along doing Temtem, I'm going around, I'm doing a fight with a trainer in a route against like an AI trainer.
Unless you co-op, and
but co-oping is not seamless, right? You have to add people. You have to.
Yes.
And at that point, that's not an MMO. That's multiplayer gameplay.
So, do you think they could have saved themselves a lot of headache if they just made this a single player game, maybe with a co-op?
I think the opposite. I think it almost is a single player game, and the MMO buzzword keeps getting thrown around for marketing.
Right, but they are connecting you with a bunch of other people. It might not be. Yeah.
Can
the system is all there.
Then, would you say Diablo is an MMO?
No.
No, Diablo is not an MMO. What are you talking about? It's like 4-player lobby.
Yeah, but you're in a chat with a lot of people. Diablo 3 is an MMO.
Isn't Diablo 4 like going to have like an open world.
From what we know. I mean, from what I played from what I played from Immortal, that kind of seemed more like an MMO because there were just people around and I could interact with what they're doing, and it wasn't a massive open world thingamajig, but it was seamlessly with other players.
Because it's just, I think our perception of MMO is warped.
Yeah, it comes down to what you perceive as an MMO. I say you could say this is an MMO. Temtem is an MMO by the lightest of terms.
Well, by the standard definition, it's easily an MMO.
Yeah, I think we need in the
it's a
community.
Massively multiplayer online.
I suppose
it's.
Go for it.
It is an MMO, right? But it's just like the game, the game part of the game doesn't do anything with that MMO.
Okay, yeah. So
system.
It's an MMO by definition, but not by expectation. How about that?
Okay. That's a good headline. I could see that on Kotaku.
I should be a philosopher or some shit. Jesus.
I think we might get into this later, but being like a Pokemon-like game, I think you couldn't have it be too interacting with other people, because for the new Pokemon there is the possibility that you and your 3 friends could be like you'll be able to be in the same world, but and there are overworld Pokemon. If you see a shiny and your friend's like, oh, I'm gonna catch, and you're like, nope, that's mine, and you're fighting over it, and then the host of the world is like, nope, cutting out because I didn't get it, I can see there being a lot of drama around that sort of
But that's just having shitty friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you had that in the
if you fall out with your friends over a shiny Pokemon, they weren't really your friends.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Steve. I'll nip this in the bud. If we ever play Pokemon together and we're not sure who's going to get it, I'll just kill it, and then no one gets it.
No, we will play Pokemon and we will hopefully have this argument. It depends on if the shinies are overworld.
we will hopefully have this argument.
Here's the thing. Let's say us 4 play it right. I would put money on me, Will, Josh. Do not care. Do not care.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shiny. Go get it, Steve. Steve,
I would
get it away.
Yeah.
I would only Steve,
I would only care. I would only care in that I don't want Steve to have it.
Wow.
that would be my.
Yeah, Steve freaking out over a shiny Ponyta, and I used Fire Blast. And it's dead.
But yeah, Temtem's a weird one now, where it's feature complete-ish almost. But yeah, I'm like, oh wait, it's done. I've basically, on my main account, played the story.
Yeah.
I'm there, so I'm like, oh, I could do more.
Well, it was meant to be the competitive Pokemon game, right?
Yeah.
Well, my stance on Temtem will always be that I don't like it, but I support it because Pokemon always needs more competition.
Yeah, and this might actually encourage people, Pokemon, to release their own MMO if they see this one do well.
Yeah, I hope Temtem does well on the grounds of it was a harder game, so actually, Pokemon gets dunked on for being too easy. So this is here you go then, shut up. And then the second thing is it's just out and it's just done.
Yeah, I want other game devs to look at Temtem and be like, well, that sort of indie / what you call AA game, that is a Pokemon competitor can come out and be successful. Maybe we can do it too. I want there to be more competition. So that's my final bottom line on this game. Because again, I don't like Temtem. I think they're ugly. I'm just gonna say I think the Temtem are really ugly.
The Temtem themselves are okay. I think you should give it another try. Although
if he's played it 3 times,
I've played it 3 different times.
Well, no, but you say that, but you've always played it when there's new. You're playing you played it in the alpha where it's they've released a new island, so it's almost like a mini expansion. You played 3 of the expansions.
I feel like
in a way
I've played 3 content updates, and I always gave it a chance. And every time I played it, I finished the current content. And I never came away I enjoyed that.
You finished Island 4, right?
There was a big city and it was surrounded by a beach.
Yeah, so Island 5, I would say, definitely has a more different feel to it. I would give it a try if I was you.
I think if I do, it'll be a long time from now, and it'll just be like,
again, I wanted to wait until it fully released, which it has now, and then I would play again from the beginning. Now it has all the content.
Yeah.
Rather than play a content update, probably miss a certain section because it's adding into the stuff I've already done, so I've missed it.
It'll be like a year and a half from now, and some indie video with 1,000 views will hit the front page of Reddit Games saying why you should give Temtem a chance, and I'll be like, okay.
Temtem in 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And that'll be like, I won't even watch the video, but that'll be like, okay. Yeah, I forgot this game was real.
That'll be enough. Yeah. That'll plant the little seed in the back of your head. Yeah.
And I'll talk about it on episode Game FourCast episode 172 or something.
I'm writing that down.
How many are we on now? 32, right?
I think it's at least 70. I don't know. I lose track.
Let's go to YouTube and check. We are on episode. This is episode 34.
This is 34. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Any final words on Temtem?
I would say something in German from Duolingo, but I don't know anything other than
Gesundheit.
Yeah, Gesundheit.
9. Yeah, I'm going to throw the ball to me really quickly. I haven't actually really played anything this week, if I'm being honest. I've dabbled ever so slightly today in Pokemon Unite.
Yes, I'll play with you.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That game gets a shitload of content really quickly. It's really odd. The monetization is kind of weird because everything's really expensive, but there are clearly people that are like paying for this stuff, which keeps them. It's like you think of like other MOBAs and how fast they release content. I was talking to Laura about it, my partner, and they're releasing new heroes like nigh on every 2-3 weeks. It's kind of crazy, like a whole new character for a MOBA. And I know it's a simpler game, right, compared to like League or something, where it's like they design a character that has to bounce off of walls and do elaborate weird shit. It's just like, no, it's just, this Pokemon does AoE or whatever. But it's a lot of content really quick.
And you say it's weird monetization, it's very expensive. I will say, if you're wanting to play, have an idea about like 2 to 3 Pokemon you want, get those and then just save up your money. Like, don't be getting all of them. If you're a free-to-play player, this is for any game, don't be trying to get everything, like, unless you're like going really hardcore on it.
Yeah,
just get what you want, and then you'll be happy. Like,
there's the trap of these games where you play any game, whether it's like a MOBA or it'll happen soon when these free-to-play fighters start coming out as well, like Project L, and also in multiverses, where you start playing a game and you have like a roster in front of you that's like 2/3 locked, and at least for me, my mind goes to like, I want everything. I want to have it all.
Same.
But you don't need everything. You can get, like you say, you can get like 2 or 3 characters and have a great time. But yeah, I've been playing a little bit of this. Laura plays on Switch, and I normally play on mobile next to her. But I was having a really awful time with mobile controls. It's not the worst, but it wasn't. I felt like I'd be making like little mistakes here and there. So I downloaded an emulator, like an Android emulator.
Oh, you're cheating.
It's
using mouse and keyboard.
No, I'm actually using a PS5 controller. So it was a bit finicky to set up because it came with like predefined controls. And I was like, oh, that's handy. It comes all set up, and the default setup was garbage. I had to like completely change it. And it's kind of weird to set up because you're not setting up like this button does this. You're setting up like this button touches this part of the screen precisely at this time. It's really weird. But yeah, that's literally all I've been playing. I mentioned also briefly that I've kind of fallen off Horizon as well, which is a bit of a shame. I think I could probably talk about that a little bit later during one of the news stories, so I'll save that a little bit.
Ooh! Can I just confirm that was
more
for like burnout from the genre than the game, or was the game kind of just like not dragging you in?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it was mainly like genre fatigue, and also like I've given you like 15 hours. Like, can you when is it really gonna go crazy? And it, but anyway, that's me. A really short week. But
it's a dud week, I think. Well, not for podcasts are still going to be lit. Keep listening, but for gaming,
for new video games, unless Will's got something crazy.
Let me tell you, guys. Don't worry, I'm here to swoop in. And hold on, when did this come out? Anyway,
Star Fox.
No. Way back in the day, there was a little game called Orcs Must Die.
Oh yeah,
which is a fun little 3D sort of tower defense game, which was different than other such games because it sort of worked like physics into its tower defense. So you'd have waves of orcs as the title suggests.
Played that back in college, I think. Long time
coming
ago.
Out exactly, really old game, and it was fun because so you'd have like flippers and things. So instead of this tower just shoots at things that gets near it, now you have a little flipper that will just flip something into a pit, and like an orc will step on it and then go flying, and it'll say something funny, and it's good fun.
I remember it was one of my first tower defense games that I played. Was like, oh, this is also like a third person shooter. That's pretty cool.
And you have agency in that you can run around and shoot the orcs and help out with this lane I haven't put enough traps down, so they're getting through. Fast forward to 2020, they released Orcs Must Die 3, and me and Aaron were like, we should play that, and then we never did until this week. We played through the entire campaign together in co-op, and it was a fun time. It was just a fun throwaway sort of experience. It's a tower defense game. you put traps, you stop orcs, you get money for killing orcs and put down more traps, etc. It's good fun, but it's weird in that I don't think I've ever played a game where I don't think I played Orcs Must Die 2, although now I'm saying it, maybe I did, but
I think I played 2. I haven't played 3, but I think I played 2. Maybe.
I remember playing co-op in 1, and maybe they only had that in 2, so maybe I did play 2. But it's weird in that the game is we're on number 3 now, but you could convince me this is just Orcs Must Die 1 again.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new here, really, that I feel like it. They're their big addition is this thing called War Mode, which is just Orcs Must Die a normal level, except there's lots of things coming at you this time. It's really weird. It's and it's not it's fun. So I don't mind that they didn't really add anything, but it's just wow, they're really playing it safe with this series, aren't they? Is
it one of those things where you play a game like this and you're like, well, this is just the first game. It looks exactly the same, and you kind of forget how bad.
I bet if I went back, they'll have loads of quality of life additions and things like that. But it honestly, it doesn't feel like a brand new game, like a sequel. It just feels like if you said this was an expansion pack to the first game, then I'd believe you. At least what I remember of it, anyway.
Screenshots. Here's Orcs Must Die 1.
Right.
Okay.
But if you said Orcs Must Die 3 has a mobile version and this is it, I'd believe you. It's super satisfying. You can set up lots of trap combos where you'll put here's a wall grinder and then here's a flipper, and they step on it, they get flipped straight into the wall grinder, and then they're dead. And the orcs are all very funny. Look
how crazy this is, right? This is Orcs Must Die 1. And this is one of the screenshots on the Steam page they're showing. It's kind of simple. There's a few orcs exploding. There's a leg there. And then here's a screenshot of number 3. And it's just there's so much more stuff going on.
It does get crazy. And I think it is pretty impressive how much stuff is going on.
Yeah.
And the game really doesn't suffer performance-wise. And my PC's fine normally with these games. But Erin has a weaker PC than me, and she was like, 5,000 orcs on screen or whatever, getting tossed about like rag dolls, and it's okay, it works fine, nothing's going wrong. Yeah, yeah, okay. It's not a strong week because that's all I have really. It's a really fun game.
Strong
if you can,
week.
yeah. You can pick this game up super cheap, and if you have someone to play through it co-op, then it's a really fun time. It's like a good. I think the campaign took us like 6 to 7 hours or something.
I feel like it would get a bit boring maybe if it was longer than that.
Well, yeah. And the problem we had today is we finished the campaign and then it was like, oh, you want to try like, there's different modes. There's like weekly challenges and things.
Yeah. I'm good.
Which I think is new. And but then they have an endless mode. And we were like, all right, let's do the first level, endless mode. And it went on for maybe 4 hours. And we were like,
Jesus.
we could just go at some point. And we'll just go watch TV and come back and check on this later.
That's like Bloons, isn't it? Where you set up a certain way and it's like, I can leave this for like 25 minutes.
I can just leave this running. Yeah. But that's the problem is, so we did that and now it's like, well, we're going to go back to placing, like one trap at a time.
Yeah, boring.
We've flown too close to the sun and now we can't go back, sort of thing.
How does this compare to that other one that we played not too long ago? That was 4-player.
Dungeon Defenders.
Dungeon Defenders, yeah.
So this is way less. That one was all like RPG stats and leveling characters and getting gear, wasn't it? This is more. There are unlocks and you can make sort of builds and loadouts and things, but it's all very. Every time you do a level, you get a certain amount of currency. It's like skulls.
Yeah,
and then it'll be like, hey, you want this tower? It costs like 8 skulls. Upgrade it a bit, but at any point you can be like, just refund all the currency I've invested, and I'll just try out different things. So it's like there's no commitment or anything. It's like you want to play a different character, go for it. You want to try a different weapon, yeah, just use some currency.
I like that
it.
as well. Yeah, just allow more like customization and freedom, just to sort of to make decisions and then change and go back and change them.
And it's fun because like me and Aaron would, it would be like, all right, next level, let's go. And then Aaron would be like, look, I've got a saw blade that runs along the ground. And I'd be like, cool, I've got a vent that sticks on the wall and shoots flames. And it's like, all right, let's put these down everywhere. Let's see what happens. Like,
I've seen a little bit of this, and this one seems more than Dungeon Defenders. Dungeon Defenders seem to be more like your character had to do a lot of the stuff. This one, I think, seems a bit more trap oriented. Like, you
still have to fight. Well, like you start off. Every level has like an arc to it where you only have so much money and you have to put down. You have to funnel them best you can, sort of thing, or delay them. Yeah. But you are going to be the majority of the fighting, and then by the end, you're sort of like, all right, victory lap. We've got the perfect saw trap set up. We don't have to do anything. We'll just watch this.
I want to play a game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's good fun. It's just very enjoyable.
Kind of just like, not mindless, but just something chill to play together.
Yeah, it's like there's just enough strategy to where it's like creative enough you can be like, all right, if I put, the level, you'll be looking at the level and be like, oh, if we put a pusher here, we can push these guys into a pit, and then they have to go a longer way around, sort of thing. And it's like, there's just enough sort of like on the fly puzzle solving where it keeps you engaged, and it's very but never like so hard that you get frustrated with it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So like, are you going to check out more of these games, or is that kind of it now for a bit?
We might play a bit more. There's some DLC that we might check out if it goes on sale. But just good. We've put 15 hours in. Yeah. That's it. 10 quid between the two of us. Yeah, a co-op game for 15 hours. It's great.
I quite like the idea of. I think like Sam and Steve were both saying how they like games these days that are multiplayer and continuous, and you can put a lot of effort into. But I still kind of like just something that you can pay for, and it's a really good experience for like 8 hours, and then it's done.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like. I like those games. It's that I always in my head I feel like I'm wasting my time if I'm not on a PvP game or an MMO where I could be constantly doing stuff, and that is a bad mind to be in. Like, I do find it bad that I can't play a single player game and feel like I'm wasting my time. Like, I could be practicing my skills or getting my crafting up or something.
I'm the complete opposite, where I feel like I can grind away on like an MMO for literally months, and personally I don't get a lot out of it, whereas I can sit down and play something for like 10 to 20 hours and get some kind of emotional response, and for me, coming away with that is like, that's worth something to me. I've gained something by watching by watching Kratos and what's his name? The kid.
You mean Dad and Boy?
Dad and Boy. By watching them go through like an arc and having an emotional story or whatever, I get something from that. I've always said like every so often, like not all the time, but every so often I'll look for a game or a movie or an album that just like really fucks me up and like makes me like cry or like really sad. Because I just like I just like that for some reason. That might sound like weird. But
I agree with that. I will often, well, not often, but if I'm in like one of those moods, I like watch an anime or a movie that I know will make me cry.
Yeah, it's like I think one of the most recent ones I still remember was Amori that I talked a lot about. So I won't go into it again. But it's just like I came away from that. It's just like that really fucked me up. Good job. I enjoyed that.
For me, there is 2 points in the Angel Beats anime that really make me cry, and sometimes I'll just literally go to watch that part of that episode, and just like a big bottle of water next to me so I can make sure I have I'm not dehydrated, and just like start welling up a little bit.
But I feel like I don't get that from live service MMOs / FPSs /
It's like, everyone should try and get some kind of entertainment that challenges you in some way, right? That's the idea. Is you can do both. You can have a mix of both, like because I get both of you. I've been plugging away at Destiny for the last week, and it's great. I don't really think about it. I just go on and make the numbers go up and unlock fun things, and it's like it doesn't. I don't think about it. I'm not super invested. But then, like you said, like there's other stuff where it's outside your comfort zone, maybe, and
you're allowed to enjoy Michelin star food and McDonald's at the same time.
Essentially, yeah.
I'm not, you try all different things, but yeah, okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to tack on to the end of Orcs Must Die, or should we move on to news?
I want more like fun, quick to get into co-op games that me and Aaron can play. I feel like it's like a missed. I feel like we've stopped doing that. I was thinking about this the other day, just because. Oh, we don't have to get into it again, but like Infinite. Halo canceling, canceling couch co-op. Yeah. I got to drop it at least once a week. Fuck 343. But I just, and I was like, I feel like of all the games coming out, it's difficult to find little experiences like Orcs Must Die, where it's like, this isn't a live service, isn't a forever game. It's like, just play through it with your significant other, and it's just a fun time. It's not super challenging, but there is enough there that you can get your teeth into it if you really want to. Like,
okay, so
I don't know.
If anyone listening has got any good ideas that are good for a couple or two people to play together, long game, short game, whatever, you could leave that in the comments. That would be cool to see if anyone's got any cool ideas.
Don't recommend Deep Rock Galactic again. I know it's good. I'll play it one day. Please stop telling me to play Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic.
God damn. You guys are like what are they? Jehovah's Witnesses, like
the literal dwarfs from Deep Rock Galactic in the comment section. You should play my game.
People knocking on my door. Have you tried Deep Rock Galactic?
I know you've played It Takes Two already, but that's like a fantastic co-op player game.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say you should play Octodad.
No.
Yeah, I've heard that's a good one. That's
two-player game?
Yeah.
You can play it two-player.
You both control like 4 arms, don't you?
Yeah, some of you, one of you controls the left side, one of you controls the right side.
Oh, it's like a meme game though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's mindless fun. It's like, oh look, he's grabbing that child that's not his somehow. Or
how long to beat Octodad? 2.5 hours. I thought it'd be really short. Not that means anything. I just feel like I was like, is that one of those games that I finished in like an hour? I think.
Yeah,
I've played this. I think.
Is there Octodad 2 already, or
Probably. I don't know. I'm not deep into the Octodad lore. Anyway, let's move on to some news. Before we do news, actually, we've got a question from Will himself from last week.
Hello.
I hope you've got an answer because I'm going to open with you. Your question was your favorite physical pre-order.
Yes. So I was thinking about this last week. I can't remember how it came. Someone was talking about pre-ordering a deluxe edition.
Yeah, the question last week generally was about like pre-order bonuses and stuff.
That was it. Yeah. So I remember going to my local game store for the midnight release of, I think, Modern Warfare 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
And the physical, the big,
I know
big
this,
super edition, it came with a pair of night vision goggles. And it's on my bucket list to own a pair of night vision goggles at some point. So that's my...
Wait, was that a pre-order or was that like a collector's edition?
It's collector's edition.
That's not a pre-order then.
It counts.
You can pre-order collector's edition, Steve.
But I was gonna say, because I've got like pre-orders are usually like, it's an art book, or like it's like a little paper art book, or a tiny little plastic statue or something.
There it is.
That's so sick.
The Modern Warfare 2 night vision goggles.
Yeah, I was gonna say collector's editions. I've got in a couple statues. I've got like the Star Wars: The Old Republic, the evil villain Darth in that. I've got a statue of him. I've got the Guild Wars 2 statue of Ritlock Brimstone. I think those are my two biggest collector's editions.
Oh, I was just saying, which is the best one you've seen? I don't own. I've never bought one of these big editions.
The bust from Dead Island, was it? The one where it's like
that got cancelled.
The one they retracted because it was really distasteful.
It was a torso with like the head, arms, and legs like cut off, not just like not there, just actually cut off.
Just boobs in a bikini.
I can't believe that must have gone through so many departments.
How
and
does
not a single person was like, this is kind of weird. You can't why are we doing this?
Maybe we shouldn't release a statue of a pair of breasts in a bikini with limbs removed.
Is that the message we want to send?
Maybe.
Ship it, boys. My one, one of my ones I remember. I have this somewhere. It might be like in the attic somewhere. Resident Evil 4 had a version of the game. It might not even be the version of the game. I think it was a separate thing. But you could buy a controller to play the game with, and it was a chainsaw. Do any of you know this?
I remember that. Yes, I do remember that.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Was that like a Wii version?
It was the GameCube. It was the original GameCube version.
Oh.
It was this.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
I have this somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Sell it.
Really?
Worth millions.
It probably is worth something. I think it's still boxed. This is, you can see from the sort of the buttons here. This is the GameCube one. But I actually tried playing the game with this. It's horrible. So you can, believe it or not, it doesn't work very well.
Oh, that's surprising.
But yeah, that's what my mind went to. And I was talking to the other one I was thinking of was someone I was talking to at work the other week. His partner's really into Harry Potter, and she wanted to get the new game coming out. And there's a version of that you can pre-order that comes with a wand, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Are you going to get that? Is she going to get that? And he was like, absolutely not. It costs like 250 quid.
It's really gone out of hand, hasn't it?
One thing that annoys me with collector's editions is that oftentimes we in the UK get dicked over. I remember for Octopath Traveler, they had some really cool stuff for the American version, but for the English version, it was literally like a cardboard box, like fake book.
Yeah.
And some coins, and I was like, "What?" No, but the American version had like an art book or a soundtrack, or they had loads of extra stuff, and I was like, "That's so unfair."
I have. I'm looking for something else. I have the special edition of Persona 5.
I got a collector's edition Persona 5.
Oh, yeah, and it has a little Morgana plushie. The one I have, I think.
I got the mask. I got the really cool like metal tin box art.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I would say the coolest collector's edition actually that now that I think about it, it was actually Ni no Kuni, because the collector's edition for that came with in the Ni no Kuni. You have a spell book where you unlock the pages, and they look like actual spell pages, and you can actually get like with the collector's edition. You got a physical book with all the pages, so it actually looks like a proper spell book. That was really cool.
I'm trying to find what I have of Persona 5. I can't find it anywhere on Google Images, but it comes with the game in a special box with a Morgana cat plushie with the game in a steel book, I think like a soundtrack and an art book. And I've got one major complaint really pissed me off is I opened up this special edition I have, and bear in mind I was so excited to play this game, and I tried to stay as spoiler free as possible. And I opened up this box, and the first thing that faced me was like the art book or something, or maybe the steel book or something. And this whatever was on this box, the steel book or art book, was key art of every single main character and every single one of their personas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god! Like some of these characters, to put it into perspective, some of these characters are like villains or like nobodies in the game up to like 30 or 40 hours in. When suddenly they they join your team or change of heart or something, and it's just like, no, here they are on this box with all their like secrets revealed. And I was like,
in defense of that though,
in
Persona, it's usually very clear who the main characters are, because everyone else looks like a normal person, and then here comes edgy Brooke Edgerton teen romance star.
At the very least, then. Having it's so petty for myself, but having their personas, like their design spoiled, was a bit annoying. I was like, because it's always like, oh, what's their shit gonna look like? It's all really cool, and it's just like, yep, here it is, all front and center.
There's something I want to ask: does anybody like steelbooks?
Not anymore.
Are they useful?
I used to.
Like, what would you use them for?
They just look cool.
I like the idea.
Why'd you get a statue?
Yes, Steve.
Oh, because a statue you can display. A steelbook is like it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the rest. Yeah, but it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the rest of your games. It'd be like,
bugger off. I remember I've got the FF10 and FF10-2 HD remake steelbook, and it's the art on it is concept art, and concept art just looks fantastic to me. I can't help it. Cannot help it.
I would rather like just a plate then. Why does it need to be like a game case?
I'll slightly agree with that when I have like all my games on like a bookshelf side by side. The steelbook is kind of like, looks a bit odd. But most of my steelbooks now are like PS3. I haven't gotten many with newer games.
I don't really buy them anymore. Well, I don't buy boxes.
I was about to say, don't buy physical games. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's Anyone got any more like special shit there?
My one was Persona 4. I hate to bang on Persona, but
you can bang on
Persona 4 came with the art book, and I mean, the style of Persona has always been one of its strong points. So having like this really cool art book as well.
Oh, it's so yellow. I love it.
It was incredible.
It's interesting how each Persona game has
a Teddy plushie.
Each Persona game has a color, right? Persona 3 is blue, Persona 4 is yellow, and Persona 5 is red. It would make sense that I guess Persona 6 would be green. I don't know. That's a big revelation. Did you say this was the special?
You could take bets now.
Well, I mean, they've done the 3 primary colors, so it could be whatever, right? It's free game from here on.
Give me a purple one. I'm trying to
it's purple.
There's so many. I typed in Persona 4 Special Edition and it's Persona 5 stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Or maybe they could let that franchise die.
Are you...
Excuse me?
That's the biggest bait I've ever seen. I'm not taking that. This bait stinks. I don't want it.
I love, like, whenever Josh mentions a game on Twitter, I just reply with the Lilo and Stitch, Lilo spraying Stitch, being like, let that game die, Josh.
I make a tweet about, like, just anything. Like, Dead Stranding was the one the other day, and you're like, no, shut up. I'm like, get the fuck off. I'm going to block you. Get off my Twitter. Okay, well, we'll move on from that then.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit of a backlog of questions, which is great. We have like questions for the next 3 podcasts. But if anyone has anything they want to ask, as always, stick it in the comments. I love getting questions because people always start their questions like, "Not sure if this is a good question," and then like it's a banger of a question.
Banger of a question.
Yeah. So always leave us your questions. We'll start with the news. The news was kind of weak for this week until was it literally last night when there was something significant, which is this one here. We had the Ubisoft Forward 2022 last night, which is basically no one does E3 anymore. I guess people just do their own when they feel like it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff here which I don't think that like specifically is some of it's not really important, but there is some key bits here. I'm going to go through this really quickly until we basically get to what is essentially the Assassin's Creed stuff, which was the only interesting bit in my opinion. You had Mario and Rabbids. With
that looked okay.
It looks all right.
They've moved away from like I don't think it ever was like grid based, but it looked fun. It looked like a step up from the previous one, and the previous one was okay.
The previous one was 100% grid based. It was definitely grid based. Whereas this one is you can just run around and do stuff.
It's like distance based.
Big thing about Rayman being DLC, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
Yeah, the Rabbids dropped him like a hot potato.
Literally.
And then now he's DLC in a property that he started.
There's more money in these Minion memes than there is in Rayman.
Poor Rayman.
But yeah, you had basically more gameplay about Mario and Rabbids. This game comes out really soon. It's like a month away, which is surprising to me.
October 20th.
And again, like if you like XCOM style of games, this is a pretty good one. You know, it's not going to be like as in depth. It's like lose your characters.
It's weird because I'm not excited for this, but I really enjoyed the last one.
Yeah, same.
It's very easy playing. It's like junk food, right? Yeah. You can pick this up, play it. Like it's not that it's not tactical. It's just you don't need to be tactical. You know.
You say that. I remember the last one being like not hard, but I was like, oh, okay. Like a couple levels in there, I had to retry a few times because they were not easy.
They were like I'm not sure how this new one does it specifically, but in the previous game, it was like a linear level, but it would be broken up into combat sections, and each combat section was like a specific level, and you could get like gold, silver, bronze for that encounter. So you could either just get through it because you want to get through the game, or you could go back and try and like 100% the game to get all the golds. I really enjoyed the last one. I'll play this one at some point, maybe not on launch, but I'm excited for that.
The old one though is harder to go back and play a second time through because it is literally linear levels. It feels like just walk forward, you're at the next thing. Walk forward, there might be a little optional side puzzle, but you're there, next level. Okay. But this one seems to be a bit more open.
Yeah, that game, you had Skull and Bones, which still doesn't seem crazy exciting to me, personally. I was going to say,
none of the games that they announced for Ubisoft Forward, none of them particularly had good trailers. Like, even if the gameplay might be good, none of them had a good showing.
Well, Skull and Bones, I feel like they're gearing this up to have crazy monetization because it's like a full price game, I believe.
Ubisoft monetize their games? I never.
Oh no, it's like a full price game, but it comes out really soon, and it's day one on their Ubisoft Plus Pass thing. Plus, they kept saying like, "Oh, you can get Ubisoft Plus right now for free for like a month. Like, go get it." So I don't know. It feels like Skull and Bones is being sent out to die almost. That makes sense. It's just like,
I guess they at this point it's like we've had this project kicking around for so long. Just put it out so it can recoup some of its costs, and then we'll just move on. Maybe it'll be a runaway success. You know.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. You had Rise Republic Season 4. I think I actively said whilst the show was on, like I didn't even know this game was out. I forgot it even came out. It's like a free-to-play extreme sports game.
Aren't there like several of these now? Where it's like, you can do several different... wasn't there like Steep, wasn't that one?
Steep was also made by Ubisoft, I think, and I think it died.
Okay, so it's Ubisoft keeping doing the same game, but just
Who made Steep? Who made Steep? Steep was Ubisoft. Steep walked so Riders Republic could run.
Good ride.
Good ride. Yeah, good ride.
I was so close.
Oh, it was all there,
it was
man.
literally there. Division 2 continues being the Division 2.
They were like, "Oh yeah, we're doing some much needed quality of life updates." I'm like, don't care.
We're doing some much needed quality of life updates.
God.
Motherfucker, it's like year 5.
yeah. Isn't it funny being on the outside of a live service game and looking in, and they're like, "It's season 11," 4 years later or whatever, and you're like, "Wow, okay, good for them, I guess." Yeah.
It's obviously making just enough money to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's the Division Heartland.
This annoyed me.
Yeah, you got me excited for this because you were like, extraction shooter, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this, and it showed nothing.
Yeah,
it showed.
What did he said? He said something like, hardcore survival shooter or something.
Yeah,
and I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
There's 2 points in the trailer that got me a little bit excited based on the knowledge you had told me of it being an extraction shooter. And there was a bit where they had a map open and it had like extractions around the edge of a map, almost like Hunt Showdown.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It showed extraction zones, and it also showed a bit with someone like extracting via a helicopter.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can maybe see what this is. It's almost like I want it to be a certain thing, and these little bits make me believe that. So maybe it will be that.
But it's
like painting the target around the arrow. We have no idea what it actually is yet. But yeah.
Unfortunately, I would say like it's for me. It's Ubisoft. So with an Ubisoft, I always know what I'm getting into with like an Ubisoft game.
Yeah, it's almost like that. It's like that Hyenas game where I don't know enough about it, so I'm like, oh my god, what if it's this? Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah,
even though it's probably not that.
I did sign up for the beta of it though on their website. I
did too. They sent me an email saying like, "Thanks for playing. Look at all the cool fun you've had." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't get to play."
Oh, I didn't even get an email. Fuck those guys.
I don't think I got an email either.
The Division Resurgence. This was the mobile game. Lots of mobile stuff in this event because straight after this you've got Rainbow Six Mobile. Which again,
I would have signed up for, but it's like they're announcing it for 7 countries for the beta test, and UK was not one of them. So,
I said it on Discord whilst the show was on, where it's like these sorts of trailers are so weird because it's like, here's a trailer to get you hype for a game you've already played for about 7 years, plus the trailer graphically looks worse than everything you've seen. I think it's just like, mobile gaming is such a massive market, especially in countries that aren't ours. It's like, this just isn't for us, basically.
Yeah.
This is for, you know, like how PUBG mobile is enormous in like India and places like that. It's like, this is for them. It's not for us. Trackmania, Dance 2023. Okay, the Assassin's Creed shit. So there was lots of Assassin's Creed stuff to the point where it had its own conference within a conference.
Assassin's Creed has its show within a show.
It's
so weird.
The big thing is Assassin's Creed Mirage, because that's the new upcoming one. They've actively said that they're trying to move away from these like 100-hour long.
No. What they're going to do is make both.
Oh yeah,
just different games.
So Mirage is not like Valhalla and Odyssey. It's going to be like a 10 to 20 hour long stealth Assassin's Creed game. Which is basically what I want, to be honest. I would love to play through Valhalla, but just knowing that it's a 100+ hour long action RPG stealth game. I do not want to commit to that.
Because I think it's a good way to please both, because there's a whole bunch of people who are like, I much prefer it being an open world RPG. I want to play that. And then there's all the people who are like, no, I wish we could go back to, Assassin's Creed 2 days and play through those. So it's like, Ubisoft's just like, all right, I'll just make both. I'll make 2. Because it doesn't matter. Like, I'll just make different versions. And I think that's a really good way to please both people.
You can squint your eyes at Assassin's Creed Mirage and think that it's a remake of the first game.
Yeah.
He's got the same outfit and hood. He lops his finger off like Altair does in the first game to have the hidden blade. He's got.
I will say, are they naming him something different? Like, is the story-driven one more going to have like a different subtitle? Because that could be confusing if not. Like, you don't know what you're getting if you're like very casual.
I get what you mean, but I don't think they're releasing it at the same time. Yeah, they're not releasing it at the same time, so you don't need to differentiate between which one's which. Basically, I think this is going to be their way of trying to keep it fresh and not getting stale, is that every time you play Assassin's Creed, maybe you get something a little bit different, but it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
So to sort of give context to all of this, you've got Assassin's Creed Mirage. This comes out 2023, presumably the end of 2023, because that's when Ubisoft release their stuff, usually.
Yeah.
It's a 10 to 20 hour long stealth action game. They also announced at the same time, I'll skip forward a little bit, they announced Assassin's Creed Red, which is coming a bit after, but they're finally doing the feudal Japan Assassin's Creed. Nice. And this one is going to be the proper big open world RPG Assassin's Creed.
I can see that being really cool, like being a ninja.
Oh, people have wanted this for literally since Assassin's Creed started.
This has been the one people have always said is like, oh, I can't wait till they get to feudal Japan.
Yeah,
it's like, finally they're doing it.
It's like how I don't think Assassin's Creed is in any kind of trouble. If anything, Valhalla did really well. But this always to me felt like, you know how Square Enix had the emergency button for like, if in danger, release FF7 remake.
Yeah.
It always felt like if Ubisoft was in trouble, it was like, if in danger, release Japan Assassin's Creed.
Have they done a like crossover game with all the different assassins yet?
No,
they all loosely tied. At one point, they were all loosely tying into one meta plot, and they did have hooks from each. They did have little bits and pieces that sometimes carried over. Like, I think you played as the ancestor of one of the assassins in another one.
As
like
Desmond. You played as
but I mean like a direct descendant. You played as.
Oh, okay.
I need to play Assassin's Creed games. I've never played one.
You've got a lot of them to play if you want to get up to date.
But at this point, they've dropped that meta story. Basically. Yeah. Well, they keep. It's a mess, but you can basically pick any one up, and you'll be fine.
I think it was like Assassin's Creed. I can't remember which one, but one of them basically just says like it gives you 10 minutes of the like futuristic meta stuff. And it says like, yeah, there it is, but fuck that. We're not going to touch that again for the whole game. And now it's just like, so
it is still there, but it's so in the background, and like they almost feel like they don't, everyone's made fun of it so much that they're like, oh, it's not really. Sort of thing.
I'm gonna give us a slightly higher level quickly because there's a ton of Assassin's Creed stuff. So basically, you got Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's their next big upcoming game. You got after that, their next big upcoming game is the Japan one, which is currently called Codename Red. They are also making one on mobile called Codename Jade, which it's the green one. So you got the red one, you got the green one, and then they're also doing. There's something called Assassin's Creed Infinity.
Oh god, I'm already lost.
That's like, I think that's going to be their like hub. For everything Assassin's Creed,
but no one knows,
almost its own launcher.
But that's the thing. I don't know. They've said it's going to be like a hub, but that in my mind that goes one of two ways. It either means, like you say, like a launcher, like Battle.net or Steam or something like that, or it's its own separate. I don't want. That's the thing. It could be some weird like, you know what Ubisoft is like with NFTs and stuff, right? It could be like some weird metaverse thing where they're like, make an avatar in this Infinity Hub. You can do stuff in this Infinity Hub, but then you can get in a machine and go play Assassin's Creed Red.
I think it's going to be, if you play an Assassin's Creed, like if you play Odyssey, there are hooks and advertisements in there for what's going on in Valhalla. Like it'll be like, oh, buy Valhalla today. It's got DLC coming out and stuff like that. And I think this is just going to be a the end point of that, where it's just like this will be throwing, here's buy some Assassin's Creed bucks and it will buy DLC in any one of these games, or you want to hop straight from Black Flag to Hexy or whatever it's called, then it's all here.
I would actually like that. Like if they had like a thing of like this Infinity has ways to play all the Assassin's Creeds, all kind of like in the same playable state. Because sometimes I want to play this Assassin's Creed, like maybe the first one. And I assume that released on like PlayStation or something,
PS3, and Xbox 360.
And then they released it on PC later, and it kind of was like unplayable. Like how remasters and ports are. And like if they had one where it's like, oh, you can play all the games here. They are all playable. They are all good. This is the preferred way to play them. That would be good.
I have no doubt that if Infinity does end up being some kind of like launcher, they'll be like, here's a launcher for all the Assassin's Creeds. And we know that sounds kind of weird, so we're going to give you like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 for free for just like coming onto it. It might even be like a subscription service, because they're clearly going ham with a shitload of Assassin's Creed stuff.
Even like as you're scrolling past it, but there's like the Netflix series.
Oh yeah, so the one that Will mentioned briefly a second ago, which if you don't know, might have sounded weird. There's another one they announced called Hexy.
What's that?
So it's called Assassin's Creed codename Hexy. All they showed was like some weird, like, what would you call it, like Blair Witch like effigy of the logo.
Yeah, like weird, like folklore stuff.
Like Wicca effigy.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
And that's all we know. And they've made it clear they want to have historically accurate stuff, but also like weird, creepy, almost fantasy stuff. Because I think like Valhalla starts off as, Viking stuff, but also gets kind of weird.
In Odyssey, you eventually end up in Olympus and Hades.
And in Origin, I think you fight like Egyptian gods and shit.
Yeah.
So it almost
feels
they
always
like...
kind of relegate it to like DLC stuff. Like, it's like, oh, is it real?
But they always seem very adamant that they love the historic side to these games, right? Yeah. So maybe they want to almost separate it so you can point to a specific thing and say, look how historically accurate it is. And then also point something else and say, look, Ezio's fighting werewolves. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can dream, yeah.
Shitload of Assassin's Creed stuff. So, as Steve said, there's a Netflix TV show. And there's
animated or real life?
I don't know. I think there's 2 Netflix shows. Because they said, like, we know there's a Netflix show coming up, but we're also doing another one. I was like, okay, cool. And they're doing an exclusive Netflix game, which we talked about a while back about Into the Breach and stuff being on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was I thought they were saying that was the Jade, the codename Jade or whatever it was called.
No, it's a different project.
Oh my god, Ubisoft, Jesus!
Yeah, so
let's calm down.
They confirmed a brand new Assassin's Creed mobile game that will be released exclusively through the Netflix game platform.
Guys, I think Assassin's Creed might be Ubisoft's cash cow right now.
So
we were saying like literally carrying Ubisoft on its shoulders.
Literally, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Well, we were saying about how like Ubisoft makes so much stuff that sells really well, but they just seem so creatively bankrupt, right? It's just like.
Do you remember when they said they couldn't do girls in Assassin's Creed?
Did they? No, he didn't.
That was ages ago. I was
going to say the last 3 games have had female protagonists.
But that's because they were like, for one game they're like, oh yeah, it's multiplayer, but we can't do female characters.
But yeah, so out of this one conference within a conference, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 announcements just for Assassin's Creed. It is crazy. They're obviously going all in.
Assassin's Creed is cool. I just, like you said, like I really wish it doesn't feel like they have a strong, idea of what they want to do with this franchise. They're just throwing shit at the wall. It's just, they're just like, Japan, China, whatever. Just everywhere. Who cares?
Are we going to get
people buy it?
We're going to get to a weird like scenario where you have Assassin's Creed Infinity live service you got to pay for, and Far Cry Infinity where you get your all your Far Cry updates. And
it does, yeah. It is weird. It feels like Ubisoft is all just building franchises instead of trying to build fun games. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
This is
quickly build another tower, an open world with towers, and stick a new coat of paint on it.
Oh yes, that's just reminded me because I said earlier how I'm kind of like bored of Horizon as I'm playing it. It's just like it's just too much shit to do in an open world game. It's just so many checkboxes.
Probably while they're doing the shorter 10 to 12 hour stealth experience.
Yeah, and that's
to break it up.
That's why I'm excited for it. It's like it's the first Assassin's Creed game in a long time that I've looked at and realistically thought I could play this and probably like have fun with it. Not that I wouldn't have fun with Valhalla, I just know that I wouldn't finish it, and that would annoy me knowing that I wouldn't finish it going into it.
See, now I want to play an Assassin's Creed. I'm like, I could play an Assassin's Creed, but I'm also like, well, should I not wait for Infinity to see if that is like the ideal? Like,
you can get Ubisoft Plus, or whatever it's called, right now, and just play whichever one you want.
Yeah, literally, it's free for a whole month. You could get
a whole month.
You could get it now and literally play Valhalla and see if you like it. Play if it's on the pass. Play Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. That's a fucking awesome game.
I heard that one was only the boat section was fun, and the rest of it was bad.
No, the whole game's good.
That was the last good Pirates Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
and it wasn't because it was a pirate game.
Okay, apart from the one that was in France that was buggy as shit.
Unity.
They're all good.
Oh yeah, just like Black Flag was like the last. Like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, and Black Flag were like great games.
Yeah,
have you all tried Valhalla though?
I have not tried Valhalla. No, I haven't played a single Assassin's Creed game since they went RPG. The last one I played was, I think, Assassin's Creed 4. And I always just would watch trailers of the gameplay, and it's just like, I don't need to play this. I don't feel like I'm in any rush to play this, and then I just don't end up playing it because of that.
They're good. They are good, but the problem is, they're wide and long.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, after I was playing Odyssey and enjoying myself, but then and doing loads of side stuff, and then I was like, all right, after a certain point, I just want to finish this, and I've still got like 80 hours of game left because it's such a long game, and it's like I just can't be bothered. It's too much.
There's also, I've heard from some people, I don't know if this is accurate because this is what I've just read, but apparently Valhalla is it has like levels and stuff, right? And you can be under leveled for the main story if you don't do the side stuff, so you can't even like straight line it.
They have I don't know because I haven't played Valhalla, but in Odyssey, there are options where you can say, I don't care about levels, I just want to play the game. Or you can say, level gate me, so I have to do side stuff. Or you can say everything is just at my level, so don't worry about it. They normally give you like accessibility stuff like that, where you can just play the game how you want.
I think Valhalla might have like level skips, like paid DLC.
Yeah, Odyssey had XP booster.
Yeah, XP boosters, which is it's weird in a single player game. Almost feels like it's either bad.
Oh, that sucks. But then afterwards they just patched in ways to just not care about any of that, so you don't have to worry about it.
It just feels like level boosts in a single player game is either one or two things. It's either bad design or malicious design, and I know which one it probably is.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the Ubisoft convention. Shitload of Assassin's Creed stuff coming out. You then had not a lot to say about this one, but there was another showcase. There was the Disney and Marvel games one. I wasn't going to watch this, but I did watch it in the end. And there is some stuff here, but a lot of it is still like early CG stuff. There's a new like Captain America and Black Panther game coming out set in World War II. That could be cool. Again, there's only a little CG trailer. But it's being written by Amy Hennig, which I think was the lady from Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, and she did like Uncharted, the early Uncharted's. 1 and 2, I think. Good writing. So that might be interesting. You had... Oh, we talked about Midnight Suns having no release date, but now it has a release date, which is this year. It's the 2nd of December.
Wow, okay. I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
This is the first trailer they've shown that kind of reveals to everyone that it's actually like a card strategy game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Finally, like, releasing it out to the world. Like I've said before in the past, I think it was really shit how it was coming out soon, and every single promotional shot or screenshot you looked for on Steam and stuff was just cutscenes. When the game is not an action game, it is a card strategy game. But yeah, that's coming out December 2nd. Tron is getting a weird new visual novel.
Is it? Oh, I don't like the Tron stuff. They keep trying to make
I'm
Tron
always
happen.
down for visual novels.
Yeah, but it's like... Of all the things
Is Jeff
to make...
Bridges in it? Is Jeff Bridges
No,
in
he's
it?
not going to be in it.
Oh, what's the point then?
New co-op Mickey Mouse game called Illusion Island.
That look like it's trying to go for the Cuphead market.
It looks like Rayman Origins.
Yeah, but it had like the art style of like the old Disney stuff, which of course Cuphead mimics.
If anyone has played like Rayman Origins, it reminded me of that. But yeah, that looked okay. Switch only though, so it'll run at 720p and look like shit.
It look like crap. Run like crap.
We got it in there.
We got it in. It was getting a bit late. Marvel World of Heroes, not a lot of info, but it's made by Niantic, and it's another like walk around game. So
yeah, it's Niantic.
Steve will like it because he's playing Pokemon Go right now.
I like Pokemon Go, and that's because it's Pokemon, but I'm not going to go for anything else.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora was like a weird mobile shooter game. Marvel Snap is an upcoming like free to play card game.
Snap?
No.
I saw that, and I was like, okay.
It looks. I've signed up to like play it on release on my Google Play Store. It looks. Oh god, this quality is terrible. I'm sorry. It looks okay. I heard. So I heard the monetization because it's in closed alpha, right? People were saying the monetization was awful, like really bad.
Oh, okay.
But apparently they've gone back on that and they've changed it and they're going to make it more fair, which is just like, I kind of wish I didn't know about this because the game's not even out.
It's like the talking point is the monetization, but I guess that's always going to be the most important thing about a card game.
Yeah, I'm always up for playing a new card game on the toilet. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Graphically, it looks really cool. I like all the moving stuff.
I like the style. Yeah.
Monkey Island got a new trailer.
Is that Disney and Marvel?
It's LucasArts, which is obviously Lucas, Star Wars, Disney. It's like a loose connection, but it is there.
Yeah.
A lot of people still hate the art style, but that's neither here nor there. Aliens Dark Descent, Gargoyles remaster, Disney Dreamlight Valley adding Toy Story, which is that like walk around game for Disney adults.
That just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, I actually have someone. I'm watching someone now muted playing that. It doesn't look like much, but it's like enjoyable just to have on in the background.
It's the game for like 35-year-old people that love Frozen to walk around and hang around with, like Buzz Lightyear.
I'm sure kids like it as well.
There's a reason that every trailer they've shown, it's like a not an old woman, but not a young. It's an adult walking around, hanging out with like Buzz Lightyear and shit. They know what they're doing.
I don't like life-size Woody. Do you see that? That's weird. That's well creepy.
As soon as he's your height, you realize how massive his head is, and it's kind of creepy.
He's bigger. Yeah. He's bigger than the human.
All the memes of like Thomas the Tank Engine having horrific teeth and like blood everywhere. I feel like Woody's about to like grow tentacles and just eat this lady.
I've seen. Okay, hold on. You carry on.
Okay, so that was that. More Avatar stuff because Ubisoft is making an Avatar game.
Oh god.
Because Avatar's back, baby. Lego Star Wars getting DLC. Some Disney Mario Kart game getting DLC.
That's a shame because that might have been fine, but I remember when they announced that in the Nintendo Direct, and in the same one they were like, "Oh, but Mario Kart's getting DLC." It was like no one cares anymore.
It's not fair.
Mario Kart is there.
That was that one. Disney Mirrorverse, which is a mobile game, getting a new thingy. More mobile. It's tons of mobile stuff, and that's basically it. Marvel Strike is a mobile game. Yeah. So, like I said, stuff here, but also kind of nothing here. But yeah, that's that. Next story. What have we got? What is this? Get rid of that. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk DLC.
Oh yeah.
This is.
I just want to forget this game exists.
They don't want you to forget because they spent a lot of money making this game, even if it is bad. I loop this so we can watch it. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
Oh, it's playing.
It's playing.
Wait, what's playing?
What's playing?
Oh, that was weird. I went to. Okay.
No, don't adjust your headphones. Anyone listening, Will's just freaking out for some reason.
No, okay. I played because you said there was that Midnight Suns trailer. I went to play it on fucking IGN, and IGN is an awful website, and it went on to play like 8 different trailers, and then randomly just turned all the music on. So I thought that was the Cyberpunk music coming from your. Even though I have you muted. Oh, whatever.
When you're finished having your episode.
Yeah, I'm having a meltdown.
Yeah, basically new expansion for Cyberpunk. Surprisingly, this is the one and only expansion that's coming out for Cyberpunk. The Witcher 3 had 2 big DLCs, and I think there might have been 2 planned for this at some point, but it's just not happening now. Yeah, I kind of feel like every time something new comes out for Cyberpunk, I get a little bit closer to just finally playing it. You know?
Yeah.
No,
I don't care.
You completely over it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
They had their shot. It was busted as fuck. You can polish a turd. It's still a turd.
Yeah, because they said I think they're looking to. They fixed a bunch of the police stuff in this, which is do you know about the police in the original?
They just spawn behind you.
They spawn behind you
whenever you're not looking.
Yeah, and just shoot you. It's so bad. Yeah. So I have seen like more positive stuff about this compared to negative, which I think is surprising. It's been so negative for so long around Cyberpunk. I mean, it's just like maybe if you do actually just give it enough time and slowly add stuff, people just get over it. But I guess, yeah.
Everything I heard about this game is they fixed it, and now the problem is the game just isn't very good. Like,
we fixed all the bugs. It's now a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that the game was such a busted hot mess on release was actually a pretty good smokescreen for the fact that the game is just not very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
hopefully the new Witcher game, when they release that, will be
also Witcher 3 is, I think, their first project on Unreal Engine 5. I'm not sure what this runs on, but I think they're moving to like a different engine going forward. Feels like everyone's moving to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, that's the shiny new toy.
But yeah, no one here has played Cyberpunk, so not got a lot to really say to this. But
I've played Cyberpunk.
Have you?
I didn't get far in it, but I played it.
Oh, what did you think?
It was okay. It felt very Ubisoft open worldy to me, you know. And I was like, okay, probably I'll play this at some point, and then I never got around to playing it.
Yeah. Okay, well,
and there was a penis slider.
There is, yeah. You can a dong slider. Not many games have a dong slider. Didn't that Conan game have a dong slider?
Probably.
I think
I never played that.
Conan and one of the Saints Row is like the only.
Oh yeah, if there's ever gonna be a dong slider somewhere
of games
where
you can have a dong slider.
Okay, and you also had. I feel like we're talking about this like every week now, but new trailer for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not much.
I can't wait.
Not much to add here that we haven't touched in previous episodes, but.
Speed run the headline. Still looks like shit visually. There's Pokemon, obviously. Yeah, Switch is bad.
There's a new crab Pokemon.
And 2 new Mega Man Pokemon as well.
Play the rave music.
Yeah, there's the crab.
The thing with this trailer is this trailer detailed the 3 different story
Yeah, and one of the stories is just go fight a big crab.
I don't know. That's probably part of it, but
I just got the crab brave music going on in my head now.
They were like,
that's one of those classic story archetypes, isn't it? There's like the hero's journey, and then there's fights crab. Man fights crab.
Yeah. Man fights big crab. There's big crab. You can see it.
Oh hell yeah! Classic.
Cloth.
The one big thing that got me excited in this trailer was there was like
Pokemon.
A battle. There was a battle with the evil team where they were like it was like 4 Houndour on the screen at once, and like your Pokemon and maybe like a friend, and it seemed like it was like a big cluster battle.
Big old clusterfuck.
That might be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still excited for this game. I just want to know more.
It feels like they forgot to market this game, and then it comes out in like 2 months, and they're like, "Oh fuck, trailer every week."
I'm waiting for them to do a Treehouse Live where they sit down, play the game, and kind of explain some stuff.
I just remember that the red bike Pokemon doesn't ride like a bike. It runs
has
on
wheels
all
and then runs on all fours. Yeah,
it's amazing, and that's the one that I'm getting because I love it. I love that idea.
I'm getting Violet.
You have wheels, but you run because you're stupid. I want you on my team. Okay, so yeah, not a lot to add to Pokemon. But that is still a game that is still coming out. Last story, again, a bit of a nothing story, really. Ridgeline Games revealed as the newest studio that making like a Battlefield single player game.
I think die at this point.
Single player.
Single player.
Good shooting single player games.
I will play.
Actually, really fun.
Or safe.
Do you think it's gonna be as buggy as Battlefield though? Probably.
Not
single player.
Single player and a different studio. Yeah. If it was like same studio that made 2042 is making a single player game in the same amount of time they had to make 2042, then maybe
while working on fixing 2042.
Does Battlefield have like good story? I thought it was just like army shooter, which most of them are.
No, but if it's going to a different studio, then I'm all for it.
But also, if you talk to people about like the early Battlefield games, and especially like Battlefield Bad Company. Yes, it does have really good single player story.
Yeah, Bad Company 2, people still ask for today. They're like, just make Bad Company 3. We like the characters, we like the story. I
really don't understand why they haven't made Bad Company 3. It's such a strong name.
It's a slam dunk. I don't know. It might even be too late now, to be honest, man. It's like I feel like the people that get hyped for Bad Company are like adults like me, not the kids that they want playing 2042. You release it's like most kids these days are playing Warzone, and that's the kind of audience they want. They're not going to get that by chucking out the name Bad Company. I don't know. I think it's too late, personally. Maybe I'd get hyped though.
I just remember for that they had that trailer for Bad Company, which was making fun of the Mad World Gears of War trailer.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That lives in my brain rent free. I think about that every couple weeks.
You wake up and go, "Oh God, I haven't watched the Gears of War."
Aaron, it's time again. We're gonna watch the Bad Company teaser trailer from E3 from 20 years ago.
Yes, dear.
Oh wait, you saying that now? I'm like, wait, are we gonna get the King's speech at Christmas this year?
Probably. Don't know how that connects to what we were saying, but
because you said, you watch it every now and and I'm like, oh, that's like the Queen's speech. It happens every year that you watch, and then there's always Sound of Music's always on.
You made like 4 leaps of logic in your own brain. Oh, I love you, Steve.
Sorry.
That's all the news for the week, though. It's like I said, it was a lighter week, but luckily we talked about Assassin's Creed for half an hour, so it kind of saved it a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we do?
Well, there was a bunch of the Disney Plus. Well, Disney Plus Day was this week, so there was a bunch of Disney series and stuff announced. That's all good, and Disney Plus is cheaper, right, at the moment.
Oh, is that? Oh, so you had Disney Plus Day.
Yes, which extends past the day.
Yeah, it's not game stuff, but in terms of media, Disney Plus Day, and now the new Thor movie is out on streaming services. And they also there's a panel literally today, I think, about a whole bunch of new Marvel stuff, if you care about that stuff.
Yeah, actually, we've got a few, I think, panels coming out this week of gameplay stuff.
Yeah, I know. Right now, if you go on like Twitter, there's a new like Marvel trailer or Marvel thing announced like every 2 hours. It's like what's his name? Nick Fury is getting like his own TV show and shit like that. If you care about Marvel TV stuff, I kind of like I'm not off the bandwagon yet, but I feel like every show I'm watching right now of Marvel stuff, I'm kind of like, it's just not as good anymore. I don't know.
I really like She-Hulk. I'm enjoying.
Yeah,
that
I was gonna say I've watched 3 out of the 4 episodes of She-Hulk, and I'm also really enjoying the Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power as well.
That's Amazon, but
yeah,
She-Hulk episode 4 was solid. I like episode 4, but I just think it's been bad. It's just like
my
lazy.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
Is the push and pull between people that like and dislike She-Hulk. And then like if you don't like She-Hulk, then you shouldn't like the other Marvel stuff that's come out recently, because that's bad as well. And I'm there like, but is it?
Well, it's all people with different opinions, and it's always trying to pen a wide group of people into one of two categories, where it's like it's not that binary. You can like things and dislike other things. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just because you dislike She-Hulk, if you're not enjoying it, you're not immediately like sexist or something. And likewise with everything else, it's just like sometimes people like.
You might be a little bit sexist.
You might be a little, yeah. But you get what I'm saying. It's not binary.
Yeah, it's just the Twitter drama is.
Oh yeah.
Mwah.
But my general like thought towards Marvel at the moment is it's not quite hitting me the same way it used to. I don't know if it's like fatigue of this sort of thing.
I think we need like a new crossover movie to kind of like tie all these series in together, because we're getting like some via like Doctor Strange.
I just feel like it's the TV show. I think the TV shows. It's just.
I think the
content.
TV shows are burning me out. Yeah.
It's just like
the movies are still fantastic.
The movies are still fantastic. Yeah. Well, they're okay.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange was good.
Doctor Strange was
good.
Incredible.
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange. I thought Thor.
Spider-Man was amazing. Thor was really good.
Thor was okay.
Thor was weak.
Probably
compared to Ragnarok.
I preferred it more than Ragnarok. So.
You're insane.
You're insane. You're actually insane.
No, I thought it was cool.
Laughing
I
goat.
really enjoyed it.
It's funny. Goat that screams every 2 seconds.
It really was. It really was. I love that goat.
No, I just think it's not. Maybe it's not the quality. It's just the fact that there's no break anymore. It used to be every 4 to 6 months you'd get a new movie that continued on the overarching plot, and now it's like between movies you are constantly. I say you have to. You can stop watching them, but it's like if you want, you're basically week by week watching something Marvel.
Because there'll be like a cameo in there that ties in, or like you need to know about this character because they're going to be in a future movie or whatnot.
I think it's like you don't need to watch everything, but kind of like there's this almost like this FOMO built in where it's like
me and Aaron checked out of a couple of series recently in Marvel just because we're like, it's not.
Yeah, I didn't like digging it. I didn't like Miss Marvel. I thought that was kind of weak. I thought Moon Knight was pretty good. God, what else is there? It's got again. I'm like forgetting whole series because there's just so much of it. Yeah. I just kind of wish that.
I think it always felt like the original, let's say the original, whatever phase came first, was always building to something, right? And then since that something happened, it's just been like, here's a side thing. It doesn't really matter. Like, go watch it. It's like Thor. It's like, here's a fun adventure. A very unfun adventure, but it's like, it needs that hook, What's this all building towards?
It's one of those things where I think if you read into like all the news and stuff in the background, people know what the hook is coming up. Like what?
I don't.
Right.
I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything people don't care. But like like whereas like you had Thanos and the gems in the last like overarching plot. The new next overarching plot has been announced what it's going to be. It's just they haven't really started it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I can't think of anything that, like... I'm excited to see if they do tie everything back in.
Well, they have so far. You have multiverse stuff. It's like multiverse is ripped and people are hanging out from different multiverses. But there is going to be like.
I thought multiverses was Warner Brothers.
And we're done. Let's do some upcoming games.
Okay, well, first of all, I'll announce the game showcases that are coming out.
Yes.
So on the 14th, we have 2 of them. We have Twitch Gaming Showcase ID at Xbox, which is basically showing off some Xbox Game Pass stuff, I believe.
If it's Twitch event, are you on it?
You can co-stream it.
No, I mean, are you actually?
Are you presenting?
Yeah, are you on it?
But if they ask me to, I will happily go for a representing job. Just make sure you pay me enough.
Always about the money with this guy, Jesus.
True. Also on the same day, we have the RGG Summit 2022, which is the Ryuga Gotoku game studio, which is the people who do like Yakuza games.
I wasn't on board until I saw all the Yakuza imagery.
Yeah, it's Yakuza. They're basically something Yakuza is probably going to be announced.
I was going to say
Wednesday the 14th.
I won't watch this live, but I will watch the new trailer for Yakuza 8.
And then on the September 15th, which is the upcoming Thursday, we have Call of Duty Next, which is showcasing what's next with Call of Duty. I assume the leaked stuff of the new Call of Duty and the Warzone 2.
I don't mind companies doing their own shows now, but can we not have shows for a single game? Like, come on.
Yeah.
No, but it's 2 games. It's Warzone and something.
It's not really though, is it?
It's like. If you made it, I guess I was gonna say if you made it for a series, but I guess COD is a series, but it's not like a
COD TV series.
If Assassin's Creed can have its own showcase, so can Call of Duty. It's not fair. It's only for fairness.
Assassin's Creed has 9 games coming out though.
You don't know.
I can forgive it that.
They could be doing. What if they do this and then they announce 9 games? Will you suddenly be okay with it?
Yes, I would. I will personally apologize to Activision if they announce 9 Call of Duties.
Okay, this could happen. This is not outside the realm of possibility.
I guess it's not. Yeah.
And then for games, there's not much that looked super duper interesting. So we have on September 15th, we have Metal Hellsinger coming out.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Is that out now?
I forgot.
No, it's out on the 15th.
Oh, I forgot.
No, I mean, I thought that was like next year.
No, it is this year.
No, it's out, and it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, it's Game Pass. Oh my god, I forgot.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Thank you, Steve. You've blessed my week.
These games. I love that you love this game, Josh, and I'm sure that will also get a good amount out of this. All these games do nothing for me.
Oh, it's different. Okay. It's a Doom game, but it's a rhythm game. Oh my god, I love it. I played the demo for 3 hours.
Yeah, you and Blankcast kept trying to beat each other's times or scores or something.
I beat Josh's score.
Okay, Josh
as well.
I saved myself for the full game.
Yeah, that would be quite fun actually. I'm quite excited to have a high score game.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, and then the other game, I'm not sure if this looks good or not, but it seemed like a Sam game. It's called Stardeus. Stardeus. It looks like almost like a Rimworldy. I'm not sure. That's probably going to offend Rimworld people. But
yep, that looks boring. Looks like a Sam game.
Oh my god,
bruh. Actually, I look at this and whenever it's like space and sci-fi, like it loses me a little bit. I'm not.
But this is like you're like on a ship doing stuff.
It looks like
I know 2 people who this is perfect for.
Yeah,
this looks like Rimworld.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I've never played Rimworld, so I was like, okay,
you need to play. That's a game we should get you to play.
Yeah,
Rimworld.
Yeah,
Steve would get into Rimworld.
I can't see. I
love rimming.
Whether it's a game he would get into or not, Rimworld is a game that you need to experience.
I feel like it's.
I knew
the problem is someone
Rimworld.
would have to sit down with Steve and teach Steve how to play Rimworld.
No, it sits in the same category for me as Factorio, where I sit here and think like I would love for Steve to play Factorio, but then when you play it for like 45 minutes and you're like, I hate it. And I'm like, I don't know what I expected. Of course, you weren't going to like Factorio.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm going to, I always say to people, if they ever want me to play a game, I don't mind as long as they are in the chat with me the whole time, like keeping me company.
I've told you already to play Death Stranding as a donation goal, and you still told me to go away.
If you'll be in the chat with me the whole time, I will do it. Like, and then also again, if it's like a game which like potentially I could dislike, maybe if there's like a multiplayer, that's a bit more fun. Is remote multiplayer?
Yeah, no. The more I think about it, the more that Steve will pick up, play it for like 5 minutes, and be like, "I don't get it."
Yeah. It would be watching Steve try to navigate a single menu for 5 minutes, and then he would go away. That's
yeah.
You'd be like, "This is the options menu. What are you talking about?"
Steve wouldn't get to gameplay. He would get to the like world generation screen and give up.
I think I played RimWorld for like, I think 2 to 3 hours and finished all tutorials and stuff and got into essentially the meat of it. And in my head, I was just like, when does the fun start? It's just boring.
It's one of those games, isn't it, though, where the people that love it, like
myself,
like I'm pretty sure if Erin was in here, she'd be like, RimWorld's fantastic.
Oh, she loves it. Yeah, I've seen her play it a lot.
She loves RimWorld. She's played the shit out of RimWorld.
You know, it's the people that love it, man.
Yeah.
You should recommend Stardew to Erin then. It's apparently early access.
No, because I don't think she needs another RimWorld.
Sci-fi as well. I don't know how much Erin is into.
RimWorld as well, as far as like what it provides, is basically endless, right? It's like I don't.
Well, no, there is. It's RimWorld's weirdly like open, but also fairly limited at the same time.
You know what?
There's so many different things you can do, but it's all within, very fairly strict rules.
You know,
there's so much food you can grow, but just grow one of them, please. Otherwise, everyone dies.
Yes.
You know what's coming out that she'll really love if she loves these sorts of games? Dwarf Fortress, like the upcoming Steam release.
Oh my God.
You reckon? That's too much, isn't it?
No, because this upcoming Steam release is being made to try and get more people into it through like a not ASCII interface. And
does it have actual
like
art, actual artwork?
Hang on, I'm on Steam right now. Dwarf Fortress. There you go. It's like actual. It's still like intimidating, but it's like I said. It's not ASCII art anymore. It's not like brackets and @ symbols everywhere that you have to decipher.
Maybe. I'll tell her.
I thought you were saying it's ASCII art.
Yeah, ASCII art.
ASCII art. Yeah.
All right, I think we're done for the week. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for listening, everybody. We've had another week of gaming news. I hope you've all enjoyed. As always, leave a like and a comment. It always helps us out, and subscribe if you've enjoyed and you want some more in the future. We'll be back here next week. We'll do our socials and get out of here. My name, as always, is BottlerWorks on everything around. That's Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And where can we find you, Will?
You can find me at Twitch/Olive_Meister.
And then Steve.
Hi, you can find me at Quikwix on every platform.
And Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. Make sure you go to Quikwix and not Quikwix.
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 Twitch.tv/Quikwix. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.